Would it make a difference whether or not black people were themselves behind what we call black identity or whatever, whatever?
I do not think that it will solve anything if black people made representations of other black people, because we all come from an archive, okay? And whatever we speak from a particular position, a position that informed our childhood, upbringing, education, etc. So we shall never have an ideal. That's the problem. I said it before. We cannot speak of an ideal blackness.
The change probably has to begin with, who, is responsible for the creative direction of some of these adverts. And a lot of times it's white art directors who, have very little sense of what goes on, how people are.
If I had it my way, Utaki will do ads for Abotaki. I think I'm going to do ad for Utaki. But the interesting part is that Utaki can do an advert for Abongam. Marabongamla cannot do an advert for Abotaki. Because why I was understand, but we took time to understand.
We spent basically a year and a half researching before we did anything. Researching not only for stories, but also trying to understand who this target audience was that we were trying to speak to.
User, when I watch it, it truly is a reflection of what I'm living, of what I'm seeing day to day, I mean, I'm from Orlando, a township, and what's reflected on user is what happens on a daily basis.
Not exactly. The thing that I don't like about it is that they put certain people in the show, right? And after when other people see that show, they'll think that all black people are like that,
We wanted to, in a way, capture visually and on television the audience that Kwaito was speaking to and for.
I would say it was a representation of the township youth, per se.
Which is us black people,
It's really trying to tell a story about a black person, which is not necessarily the average or the normal story.
It represents, what people are thinking, where they come from, and how they dress. Although it's also framed in a particular way that works cinematically for them.
If it's a drama, okay, it's good to show black people as violent because the audience wants to see, action.
And initially, there was a big criticism pointed to us about saying, well, what we're doing is we're glamorizing violence and we're creating a culture of violence.
We're still being portrayed as gangsters and
too much.
So they're capturing a certain gap, a certain class, a certain type of person.
Nna ke bona le betere a ba bua ka ntho e etsahalang ka se re bona le rona re etsahala bona le re bue ka ntho e re sa tsebe re etsahala or jwang.
They should represent other youth that are rich and poor. Yes, they should show the good side and the bad side of the black people, the gangsters and us, the good people. That's why
They should put different kinds of people in the show,
so other people can get the idea how it's like us, not just the negative. Gus is always negative.
Because when we walk around like in sense, they're like, I hear these blacks.
I don't know what they get afraid and stuff, But they should come to the Gus.
You cannot put what's in real life on TV.
Because it's very difficult to kind of capture and say this is the quintessential image of, black urban youth. I think what you see is when the cameras aren't around and people are just being themselves, which is very hard to portray in advertising campaigns or songs.
At the end of the day, still the ads that pays for what's on air. So I think questions of ownership are very central.
It is about assuming the responsibility of being a filmmaker that has got millions of people watching. This is your responsibility. This is the amount of influence you've got. What do you do with it?
You are who you are.
What makes me black?